Heavyweight boxing fans, what's the deal? Let some people get in here and talk about this fight that's gonna happen this Saturday. Y'all get in here, man. Y'all hit that like button. Let's talk about Breazeale versus Wallin. H Money, Mr. Supreme, what's good, bro? I don't think I've ever seen you on my channel, man. What's up though? Can't wait for this fight card coming up, man. Um, bro, good to see Broner back. He brings entertainment and excitement, win, lose, or draw, whether you think he, throws his hands enough or not. Always good to see Adrian back. But if you come here, it's all about heavyweights with me, man. So I'm gonna get into this, let a few more people get up in here. Last night though, on Showbox, they didn't televise this, man. And I'm sitting here thinking the whole time they about to televise this fight, the heavyweight fight. George Arias, who signed, I think he's in a co-promotional deal now with Salida Promotions and with Luda Bella. But anyways, the Dominican heavyweight prospects from the BX out of the Bronx, he improves to 16-0. He went the full, I think it was a 6-rounder yesterday with Joel Cotto. He went the full 6. No highlights. I did go to his Instagram, and he did post a little footage of him entering the ring, his first fight inside the bubble. But he picked up a victory. Joel Cotto, some of you guys remember him when he fought the other heavyweight, Cassius Chaney, who I did an interview with 2 days ago, with him and Chris Lovejoy simultaneously. If you haven't checked that out, go check that interview that I did with Cassius Chaney and Chris Lovejoy. But anyways, Joel Cotto was the guy that fought fought Cassius Chaney, got knocked out the ring. It was pretty much viral until, was that 2019 when they fought? Knocked him out the ring on ESPN. Cotto gets back in the ring and gets knocked out like 15 seconds later. But shouts out to George Arias picking up that decision, man. Want to see some footage, but if you've seen Arias fight, you know how he fights. High work rate, full of energy, energetic, short and heavyweight, likes to fight out of the, Joe Frazier type of style, Mike Tyson type of style. The white Muhammad Kawi wants to come forward, work his way on the inside, but he picked up a victory last night. All right. Let me see here. H Money says AB got to step up the competition. Yes, indeed, bro. I think this is just a filler, just to throw him out there, get him back on TV, get him a fight in the bubble, just to get his name back popping. And the thing about AB, man, he knows how to talk up a good game, right? So it don't matter how many losses AB got, man. He still got the fact that he was a former world champion multiple times, and he can talk shit. Not like people knocking out. It's not like he's punch drunk, getting knocked out every other fight. He still put up a good goal, a good battle, man. So good to see AB back, man. But gotta look impressive on Saturday, man. He gotta look impressive against this cat. Brent Ellis says, love your content, keep up the good work. I appreciate that, man. Lion Killer was good, bro. Iron Fist says, greetings, interested in AB's comeback, hope he does well. Wallin versus Breazeale is a good matchup. Yeah, and I'm gonna touch on that in 1 second. H Money says that Showbox card was lit last night. Yeah, it was a good solid card, man. What's a dude named Shishkin? But with me, it's all about the heavyweights, man. So although I like those fights, I was more anticipating to see George Arias, but he was on the untelevised portion of the card. So, but hey, man, one thing about George though, man, he came in good shape. He was 227. Usually he's around about 240, 235-ish, a little fleshy. But if you look at I took a picture at the weigh-in. He got a 6-pack going and everything. So it's the most ripped I've ever seen George Arias. All right. So as far as condition, that 227, that let me know that he was really, really training hard for that fight, man, coming in at 227. If you guys didn't see my interview I did yesterday, I did another one yesterday with Timothy Moulton, the 6-0 heavyweight prospect out of Louisville, who was in the Anthony Joshua training camp when Joshua was training for the second Ruiz fight. I did an interview with him last night. And then also go check out that interview I did with Cassius Chaney and Chris Lovejoy at the same time. Trying to get them two dudes to fight each other. Then on this Saturday, I got Trey Lippy Morrison, Tommy Morrison's son. He's 16-0 with 16 knockouts. He's a heavyweight. Got him on Saturday. The next Wednesday, I got Rafael Akpajuri. Glenn Johnson is training him. He's about 6'9". I think he's 10-0 with 10 knockouts. I think he's 10-0 with 10 knockouts. But he's getting trained by the Road Warrior, man. Glenn Johnson's training him. All right, so I'm gonna have him next Wednesday. So just gonna keep bringing you this heavyweight content. All right, now let's talk about this now. The Wonderful Life of Bob J says, Wallin going to sleep. Now, I went and did my homework, man. I've seen these guys fight multiple times. I've done videos on these guys when their career was first starting. I got prospect watch videos on Breazeale from way back in the day. I got one I made Otto Wallin about 4 or 5 years ago. So anyway, I'm very familiar with these guys. So I went and just did my homework. So I always like even though I've seen the fights, watch them again, right? So I'm watching Wallin versus Anthony Joshua in the amateurs. That fight is on YouTube. They fought like 2010 in the amateurs. Watched the fight that Wallin had against, was it Nick Kisner? No, not the Kisner fight, but some guys he fought out there, some European journeymen. I forgot their names, but I watched that fight. Watched the fight against Kaufman, and obviously I watched Tyson Fury fight. All right, watched Breazeale, watched the fight against Carlos Negron. And that Negron fight, Breazeale was getting pieced up, man. If Negron had a little bit more pop and Breazeale chin wasn't as good, I know it's right? If Dominic Breazeale had a defense like Pernell Whitaker, he'll be heavyweight champ, right? But I'm just saying, though, if Negron had a little bit more power, because he was putting good combinations together on Dominic Breazeale, man. Negron was putting some good combinations on Breazeale. He just couldn't hurt him. Remember we watched the Breazeale and Negron fight?
Yeah.
And he just couldn't hurt him at all, man. The Israel Gono fight, obviously the Wilder fight, when I watched the AJ fight again. Amir Mansour, they took that fight off YouTube, but he even got dropped by Mansour, was getting walked down a little bit in that fight. And then he just started to land some good shots on Mansour. Mansour ended up cutting his tongue and started swallowing his blood, and he retired. I forget which round it was, but he wouldn't come out for the next round. All right, so I say that to say this: win, lose, or draw with Dominic Breazeale, he's always in the war. He is so hittable, man. And one thing about Wallin is defensively, he's a little bit more responsible. Like Breazeale get hit with everything, bro. I mean, guys probably in there with him can close their eyes, and I'm not even trying to be funny, man. Can close their eyes and just swing. Something's going to land on Breazeale. Like, he gets hit with everything. It's not like, okay, he's susceptible to a right hand. No, right hand, jabs, hooks, uppercuts, body shots, everything. Now, however, he's very tough. He's durable. It takes a lot to get him out of there. I know Wilder got him out of there with one shot, but hell, that's Deontay Wilder's one shot, right? Israel Gono is a pretty strong puncher. He took a lot of that punishment. It took AJ rounds and rounds, looked like 7, 8 rounds to get him out of there. I forget exactly which round that ended, and I just watched the damn fight again, but he could take a lot of punishment, man, right? L-Dub was good, bro. Michael Johnson, Boxing Talking More. What it do? Y'all go subscribe to L-Dub. Michael Johnson, Boxing Talking More. Lion Killer Podcast. I think H Money got a channel too. Y'all go subscribe to them, man. Salute to everybody in the chat. All right. Brent Ellis says they're going at least 9 rounds. Wonderful Like Bob J says, seems like you need explosive type of punches to get Breazeale out of there. Yeah, because eventually he's going to walk you down. He's going to walk you down if you can't get rid of him. He'll just keep coming, keep hunting you down, taking your best shots, keep coming forward. But if you can at least just make him miss, tie him up. Eric Jenkins, what's good, bro? Just make Breazeale miss and tie him up. Now, when I was watching tape on Wallin, even though he is better defensively, he has better hand speed, better footwork, keeps his hands up more responsibly, pretty much beats him in every area except power. And I've seen Dominic Breazeale get hit with hellacious shots
and walk through it.
Now, as soon as some pressure was getting put on Wallin, he went the whole 12 with Tyson Fury. But Tyson Fury is known to be a huge power puncher, although I always say, hey, man, he's still 270 pounds, 6'9", pro boxer that's been boxing for a long time. So the shit's going to hurt, especially putting shots on you, accumulative shots that, you're not getting out the way of, right? And he could just rack up combination punches on you. He'll eventually start to wear you out, right? Now, when he started to put that pressure on Wallin, leaning on him, grabbing him and putting his elbow on his throat, in the middle of the ring and leaning on him against the ropes and sapping all his energy, we saw a different Otto Wallin. He was at his best with Fury when Fury was, fighting off the back foot like Greg Page. When Fury was fighting like Greg Page, that's when Wallin was having his success. But as soon as Fury eye got busted a little bit, his shit started bleeding, he started to put that weight on him and all that. That's what I think we're going to see more in this fight. What happened in that Fury Wallin fight, when they got to that point, I think you're going to see Breazeale try to implement that from round 1. All right, now with Fury a little bit better with his punch placement, quicker hands when he's coming forward and leaning and grabbing, versus Breazeale, who pretty much fights at 1 speed. Everything's at one. It's like that medium type speed. Everything's at one speed, but it's consistent, almost like Joe Joyce. You know what I'm saying? But he just gets hit way too clean. And I said this, and this is the reason why I picked Dubois to beat Joyce, because I'm like, he gets, look, whenever you can just get hit clean, like damn near 80% of the time, it's always a worry for me, even if you do have a great chin or really good chin. I think just one day your chin's going to just not be there for you. You know what I mean? And I think Wallin was a minus 250, so he's a slight, a good comfortable favorite. Was that 2.5, comfortable favorite, man. Damn, man, this is a tough one to pick, because pressure sometimes can bust pipes. You guys heard that old adage. And Breazeale gonna definitely bring it, man. But just this getting hit clean, and then this is his first fight back since that loss to Wilder. So
think he gonna have something to prove.
Like my wife just said, would he come in with something to prove? Because he already fights aggressive. Now he's coming back now, right, from that loss. He wants to prove something. The dude got pride now, man. Don't get it twisted. This is a prideful dude, man. This dude was Olympian. He's used to winning. Got recruited to play for USC, but ended up going to, I think he played for, some school in Colorado. I want to say Northern Colorado. Don't quote me on that. Don't write that in stone. But prideful dude, man. He wants to win. You know what I'm saying? He wants to look good, and he knows what people look. I seen this interview he did with, what's dude name? Ray Flores for PBC. Interview. Go check that out on the PBC YouTube channel. It's like 30 minutes long. A lot of interesting stuff on there, but he read the comments. He know what people were saying about him and the memes that were put up and making fun of him. So we're gonna have a lot to prove, man. But trying to prove it just face first and just gritting down on the mouthpiece. I don't know, man. But
I don't think Wallin has the power to really
keep him off. And see, my wife saying the same thing. The thing that Negron and Israel was doing great, landing good combinations. They just didn't have the power to keep him off. AJ did, and AJ has some quickness, and AJ was handing his hands up in a defensively responsible manner. You know what I mean? And they wasn't letting, and AJ wasn't letting them hit him back. Whereas Izu was letting them hit him back very hard, and Negron was letting them hit him back very hard. He even backed Wilder up when he got in the corner. He even backed Wilder up. It was some wild shots that he landed on Wilder. I think one hit like the top of the head, but it was enough to make Wilder back up for a second. And then we know what happened within seconds after that. But, man, I think before I made the vids, like, man, I'm going with Wallin. But I think I'm going to go with the upset, the slight upset. I'm going to go with Breazeale, getting outclassed for like the first 4 or 5 rounds. I think he'll turn it up, tire Wallin out a little bit. And I think it's going to be a slugfest down the stretch. And I'm going to go with Wallin with the upset. I'm going with Breazeale with the slight upset. But if Wallin wins, it won't surprise me. I know the intangibles he brings to the ring. I know what he has over Breazeale, at least on paper and through film. I'm going to go with Breazeale, man. And I think Wallin will be able to bounce back, too. I think he'll get another chance. But it's going to be a good one on Saturday, man. Let me see what y'all talking about now. Now that I didn't talk y'all ear off.
Decision, or he's going to stop him?
No, I think Breazeale going to stop him late. Okay. After getting outboxed, outclassed for like pretty much the whole fight. I think pressure going, because when I seen Wallin get tired, get pressure by Fury, I think Breazeale gonna try to do that, and I think he's gonna try to wear Wallin down. Like, even though Wallin's gonna be winning the early rounds, I still think the physicality of Breazeale is gonna wear and tear on him throughout the fight. That's what I think. All right, but shit, Saturday we gonna see for sure.
Breazeale has a lot of power. So.
Yeah, he does. But that punch resistance, man, I'm just curious to see how his punch resistance is gonna be. And I don't want to let the Wilder KO, taint my judgment, because shit, Wilder knocked out 40 motherfuckers, you know what I'm saying? Whether you say they bums or not, 40 men still fell and said, I didn't want no more, or they were unconscious. And Breazeale was one of them, but traditionally, he's a tough dude. Let me see what y'all talking about, man. Eric Jenkins, what's good, bro? Iron Fist says, never just rely on a good chin. Sometimes it might let you down. Exactly. Michael Johnson, Bar Talks More, says, I laugh my ass off. Breazeale, Mr. Urban Dictionary. Yeah, I remember that. What was that, the Wilder press conference? Is that what you're talking about, bro? When him and Wilder was going at it? Punch quote, what's good, man? He says, has anyone looked at Wallin's resume outside of Fury? This guy has fought 1 to 2 star opponents. Breazeale, day by late stoppage. Yeah, and what's so crazy is with those 1 and 2 star opponents, he was still able to go in there with Tyson Fury, who's a 5-star opponent, and give him hell. Now I thought Fury. Now some people going a little bit overboard with how close they had it. I thought it was a competitive like 8-4-ish type fight, but that cut though, man, a lot of the fights would have been stopped.
Yeah.
But then as fans, we can't complain because when we say, oh, you know, it's a championship level fight, why the ref stop it, man? That's bullshit. Back in 1960s, you know, such and such, they let such and such get bloodied, and you know, back in the 80s. So we can't pick and choose when we want to stop fights and shouldn't stop fights. If that's your energy, always have that energy when your favorite fighter has a fucking cut over his eye too. You know what I mean? But that was a nasty cut, and I've seen a lot of fights get stopped for less. You know, but shit, props to Tyson Fury for, you know, persevering through that, man, because a lot of dudes would have fell apart. You got to realize, man, this ain't video games, man. Sometimes fighters fall apart when they get nasty gashes. You know, have a nasty gash, guy may be known for flicking his jab out, but that gash, blood going in his eyes, making him not want to flick his jab. Now he's covering up. Some guys react different, man.
But Wallin was literally trying to thumb the cut.
My wife said a great point. Wallin was trying to see, but that's a good thing about Wallin. I know people get mad, oh, he's a dirty fighter. Man, dirty fighting been around forever. Headbutts, rabbit clinching, or rabbit punching, clinching, putting your forearm under people's throats when they're against, you know, hitting people on the hip or the side where the ref can't see it. If you're a orthodox fighting a southpaw, stepping on each other's lead foot to gain the advantage, man, this should be going on forever. But anyways, when Wallin was digging at Fury's cut, I like that nastiness. That let me know that he has some nastiness in him, man. You know what I'm saying? But Fury didn't fall apart because Fury could have started to low blow him or some shit, or, you know, try to get back at him. Not that I remember, but
yeah, he did. That's when he kept on like putting him in a headlock. And
yeah,
over and putting all
yeah.
weight on him.
Fury did put him in a headlock and shit and started to put his weight on him. Let me see here. MJ's Total Health and Wellness Enrichment says, salute, fam. What's good, bro? Haplotype, what's up, man? Michael Johnson, Box Talking More, says Otto's going to piece old boy up. He is. That's for shit show. He definitely gonna piece him up. Man, if you go watch that Negron fight, I think people kind of just they kind of forget that fight, because that was the fight. That was his fight right before Wilder. Actually, Wilder was at that fight and was sitting in the crowd. And after the fight was over, after after Breazeale stopped Negron, Breazeale was calling him out from the ring, and Wilder stood up, and they were actually going at it. That was actually some good shit between them. You know, I like that WWE, WWF type shit in boxing when you're trying to make a fight, because a lot of these dudes are bland, and then they wonder why nobody knows them, nobody wants to see them fight. But you got to be a personality. You know, I'm not saying you have to completely change who you are when you're cutting a promo, but you got to put some excitement out there, man. I like that they did that. And we know what happened after that when they got in the ring. But that fight, though, that Negron fight, man, Negron must be one of them dudes, man. I couldn't imagine sparring him. It's one thing to fight him with, you know, some 10 ounce on and all that, but I'm talking about sparring with headgear and big 18-ounce gloves. He'll give you hell, man, because he's slick. He can go from righty to lefty, crafty, good combination puncher, good, you know, pretty decent the way he moves and shit. I know Negron probably get a lot of call to camps, man. He must be hell in sparring. Let me see here. L Dub says Joey Gamache is underrated as a trainer. Yeah, people just remember Joey, man, from getting knocked out by Arturo Gatti in that fight he had with Gatti. But that aside, though, he was a champ in his day, man, and you know what I'm saying? The dude can train. He can train his ass off. Definitely doing a good job with Otto Wallin. Definitely making him look way more. He's making him a little bit more aggressive, man. Because when I did a prospect watching Wallin about 4 or 5 years ago, I was saying he's an outboxer, because that's how he boxed in those upcoming fights against, as somebody stated so eloquently in the chat, I think it was Punch quote, 1 and 2 star guys, right? When he's fighting those guys, he's more like an outboxer, kind of like boxing from the outside. But he's always had some aggression in him. If you go watch that fight he had with AJ when they were amateurs, it's on YouTube, Wallin versus AJ, and he actually helped AJ out in camp when AJ was getting ready for Charles Martin, southpaw, he's lefty. You know what I mean? He was aggressive. He was, you know, slipping under shots, trying to come back with like 4-punch combinations against AJ when they're amateurs. So from a technical standpoint, as far as fundamentals, I think he's more fundamentally sound than Breazeale by far. H Money says like Prince Nassim Hamed and Hector Camacho. DB South Central LA up in here. What's good, DB? L Dub says Camacho beat Jeff Mayweather. Yep. God of War was good, man. But yeah, man, that's what I think about that. Let me see some other heavyweight fights that's happening. All the other fights, I'm gonna dedicate a video to those. You know what I'm saying? Because what I hate doing sometimes is doing these lives, man. And once I, thought about what I talked about, I could have made about 11 videos. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not gonna talk about Povetkin and White. I'm not gonna talk about Fa and Parker right now. I'm gonna do those fights individually. On Saturday, I'm gonna try to call the fight. Who else is fighting this Saturday? I think Johnny Fisher, UK heavyweight, making his debut on the DAZN card. Then on the 27th, you got Parker 5. Then you got Jerry Forrest. Some of you probably last seen him in the ring with Carlos Takam. He'll be taking on Zhili Zhang. Two-time Olympian Zhili Zhang, the heavyweight. I think Zhang's about 22-0. Speaking of Zhang, him and Wallin's been doing work. I put up, you guys check out my community section if you haven't, man. Heavyweight stuff is pretty much every day. I put them stuff every day about heavyweight stuff, man. So up and coming prospects, I have fights, fight dates, articles, polls. Check out the community section on my page. All right. God of War says the interview with Moulton was really good. I appreciate that, man. L Dub says Sonny Kanto top rank card on Saturday. Yeah, I forgot about that. Sonny Kanto is fighting. Now the thing is with Sonny, the kid out of Philly, I like Sonny. He actually lost to Ronnie Hines in the 2018 Golden Gloves Championship at super heavyweight. Ronnie Hines is 10-0 right now. But anyway, with Sonny, I like Sonny, man. Sonny is fighting, before L Dub tell me, because I know L Dub gonna know. He's fighting Waldo Cortez, am I right? Let me know, L Dub. I think he's fighting Waldo Cortez. Cortez, I've seen him fight Kingsley eBay on ESPN in the bubble. But yeah, check that out too. Now, with Sonny, with his fight, it's just that, is it going to be a part of the televised portion of the card? Because, man, I thought last night, L-Dub, I thought George Arias going to be on, man, got ready. I was getting ready to call the fight. Got ready, I was prepping my phone. Man, when the card came on, they said, they showed the lineup. I'm like, where the fuck is the Arias fight? Looked it up, man, to see, did it get taken off the card or something? I went to George, looked to see if, went to George Arias' Instagram, and he got footage from the weigh-in. So he was on the card, but it wasn't televised. So hopefully, Sonny Kanto's fight is televised, man. Yep, it's Cortez. All right, bet. DB says your community page is dope. I appreciate that, man. I'm trying to just switch it up, and leave a lot of stuff in the community. And I know a lot of people, man, probably frustrated. The guys that's been following me since 2010, 2009, 2015, 16, when I was putting up 7, 8 videos a day, man. But that is a lot of work. Putting up 175 videos a month, that is a lot of work, man. So what I try to do is make these live streams impactful, where I'm giving you a lot of stuff in the live stream. Not everything, but giving you some live stream stuff, doing more interviews, and filling up that community section, man. Because sometimes I don't think I need to talk your ear off all day. How many times can I talk about Breazeale and Wallin? You know what I'm saying? Or some upcoming fights, or who is Wilder going to fight? Is it going to be Charles Martin, Andy Ruiz, or how many times can I keep really talking about that and keep you guys entertained? Dre's Finest, what's good, bro? I don't know. Let me do this for Dre's Finest. Let me see. Been rocking with me for a while. There you go, Dre. L Dub says console will be on ESPN Plus. Okay, bet. Hopefully it's televised. Levi Khan says Sonny the Bronco Kanto is better than Darmani Rock, both out of Philly. They need to handle that, Levi. I'm a big believer in take care of home first, so I would love to see them fight. I'm not sure. I'm sure they probably fought in the amateurs. I'd love to see that fight at the pro level, though. I'd love to see it. But hopefully Darmani bounced back, man. I follow him on Instagram, and he putting up positive posts on Instagram. He's not hiding or anything, positive vibes. But hopefully he gets, but on a professional level. Grab some drink real quick, man. professional level, hope that kid gets back in the gym, man, and try to knock some of that weight off. You know, try to knock some of that weight off, and you know, try to get in some camps, man. You know, not to say that he hasn't, but just make sure you're getting some world-class camp work. Shit, man, you hear AJ is fighting somebody that's close to your height and, you know, style or something like that, try to get you some AJ camp work. Try to get you some Wilder camp work. Charles Martin, man. And look, I'm not saying that he doesn't do that, but I'm just saying if he is, maybe do a little bit more of that, gain some more experience. You know, get that weight down and just work on things, man. God of War says, always miss the stuff on the community section. Only every now and then YouTube recommends it to me. Yeah. You gotta hit the notification bell, bro. YouTube do a lot of crazy stuff, man. I tried to leave a comment. I was watching who live was I watching yesterday? Was it 78 Sports? I think I was watching, it was somebody's live I was watching yesterday. I was trying to leave a comment and it was saying YouTube is restricting you from leaving something, for leaving comments. Logged out, came back in, then I was able to leave a comment. Just weird stuff, man. They're playing with my subscriber count. There's been months, man, where I'll lose 400 subs. I don't even know how. It'll just say minus 400. I've been from, then 1 month I'll have 12,000 subs. Then also I have 18,000 subs. One time my mom, not my mom, I'll say my mom. My wife sent me a screenshot and was like, damn, look how many subs you got. The shit said, remember, it was like 1.1 million. I'm like, 1.1 million. So like, what? I don't want people to think I'm out here buying subs. That's why I've always had my sub count off. I've had my sub count off for forever. My first channel, Mr. Boxing Today, that still has the sub count. I think it was a little over 1,000 on that one from 11 years ago. This channel I started in 2015. I've never showed my sub count because it was never about the subs in me. That's why I turned it off. But it'll change, man. One day it'll say 13,000, then it'll say 20,000. And so I don't even know how many fucking subs I got, man. The last time that it was the correct number where it wasn't jumping up and down was probably about a couple years ago when it was saying I had close to 12,000. That was like 2017. Right now, I don't even know, man. Some months I can not even make videos and it'll say minus 500. So I don't know, man. Then some lives I'll have close to 200 of you guys in here. Then some lives won't even get, you know, it'll be 19, 20 people. So I'm not sure what YouTube is doing, man. But I just love talking boxing, rather how many subs it says, how many people show up in my live. I just love talking heavyweight division. So it is what it is. L Dub, Stormy B-Man up in here. Oh, what's up? Stormy says, I'm here for the coffee, donuts, and heavyweight conversation. That's what's up. John Bosch says, what do you think about Junior 5 training with the kickboxing coach for Parker? Man, whatever. Look, I would love for him to be in there with somebody like Stacy McKinley, an old school trainer from the States. But hey, man, whatever moves him. If he thinks, you know, if this guy can get to him mentally and physically and make him perform at a higher level, I'm all for it. I mean, shit, who would have thought that Enzo Calzaghe was going to be, well, have a good somebody to work with like his son, but who, you know, who knew that they would have got as far as they got. You know what I mean? But I would love to see him with like somebody from the States, in my opinion. All right. But we will see how it works out for him on the 27th. L Dub says, I wanted to in Philly tournament back in the day, man. Sword, Chambers, Cunningham, Malik Scott, Joey DeWecko, Jennings, and even Mo Harris. Ooh, that'd have been, and shit, man. I wish it was a little bit younger version of Mo Harris, the Maurice Harris, but that's a good tourney right there. All them Philly heavyweights, that's a damn good one. That's a good tourney. And if Mo Harris don't show up, throw Cassius Chaney up in there. I know Cassius is out of Connecticut, but he spends a lot of time in sparring out there in Philly. You know what I mean? So he can be kind of like a, like a honorable type of, selection just for spending time out there. Dre Fonda says, why YouTube be doing that to brothers? I don't know, man. You know, they play with your sub count. They play, and bro, I've been sitting at 9.5 million views for 3 years or something, man. This shit won't. I've been at 9.5 million views for like 2 years now. So I don't know, man. They fuck with my view count. They fuck with my subs. You know, like I said, one day it's 20,000, next day it's 12,000, then it's 14,000, then it went up to 1.1 million one time. My wife sent me a screenshot of that. I don't know what YouTube is doing on my channel, man, but they got me sending 9.5 million views for 2-3 years now. So I am Ill Will. What's good, bro? Congrats on that 1,000 subs, man. Y'all go subscribe to Ill Will if you have, man. Get them up, shit, get them to 2,000 now. You know what I mean? And hopefully YouTube don't fuck with your sub count once you start getting up, getting more and more and more subs to your channel, man, because they do that. So Stormy B-Man says DB in my Florida Evans voice. Damn, damn, damn. Damn, James. Mr. Sheldon, what's good, brother? Hopefully it is the real Mr. Sheldon, because I wouldn't have rinsed you up. That's a damn shame you got a fake Mr. Sheldon going around, man. I've seen people then troll channels, but to troll, well, Mr. Sheldon is on I Am Ill Will's channel, but got some crazy people out here, man. Renee Saucedo from El Paso, what's good, Renee? Levi Khan says Takam versus Luis Ortiz next per Carlos Takam, both older but dangerous. Yes, and I've been seeing Carlos working out, man, ferocious on them with the workouts I'll be seeing. But Carlos always been in good shape. He's always been in good shape, man. Whenever I think of Takam, I think about that war he had with Povetkin. One of the best fights of that decade, in my opinion, at the heavyweight division. One of the best fights of the decade. Curtis Anderson up in this thing. What's good, man? Mr. Jones says it's several fake Mr. Sheldon accounts, and that's a damn shame. And Will says facts, Mr. Boxing. In the words of Blue, the grind don't stop. Indeed, man. Just keep going, bro. Just keep going. Levi Khan says, I think he meant to say Charles Martin. He said Chuck Martin, but Charles Martin. Maybe that's Charles' cousin or something. But he says Chuck Martin, Charles Martin versus Deontay Wilder. Next, going to be some fireworks. Yeah, and they got some history. I've heard, Martin had Wilder's back with the glove gate thing. I've seen him kind of have his back with that, but they've had a history. I remember when Wilder said back in the day that Martin went over there and laid down. So they've had their history of, saying things to each other in the media. So I like that fight, man. I see fans laughing. Ha-haing about the fight. But when AJ fought him, it was the best thing. Or when such and such fought him, when Kanaki fought him, they had a war, and it was a good fight, which it was. But then when it's time to fight Wilder, you see some fans, they troll and come to the comment section, oh, he's fighting a bum. Okay. I think it's a good fight. A heavy-handed southpaw versus, Deontay Wilder. We all know what Wilder does. Martin's a crafty southpaw. He's been training, getting things together. Look, man, he's a different Charles Martin that we saw fight Anthony Joshua. The dude suffered a gunshot incident downtown LA, and after that, man, he pretty much seemed like he pushed away things that didn't seem important to him and started to focus on boxing. I'm saying that from the outside looking in. I don't know him, not privy to his everyday activities, but just looking from the outside looking in, training with Sugar Hill out in the Crunk, getting work out there, sparring all the guys there that Sugar Hill has out there. And then I've seen him work with Manny Robles, Henry Tillman. So I like what he's doing, man. Robles got him looking sharp. That's what I will say. Robles got him. Then he beat Gerald Washington. And that win is starting to look better because Washington beat Helenius. Helenius beat Kanaki. That's the thing about the fight game. Sometimes that win you had 3 years ago where people are like, okay. But if that guy you beat go on to go further than you in the next two years, that win started to look a little bit better. You know what I mean? So that Gerald Washington win don't start to look better. Let me see here. I'm gonna jump off in a second, man. Levi Khan says Lucas Brown is down and asking for Paul. Yeah, I seen him asking to fight Paul Gallen, and Paul Gallen, I actually went live and caught that fight live. Gallen versus Mark Hunt. So, but that's what Lucas Brown is nowadays, bro. Look, from the outside looking in, when it's a fighter like Fabio Wardley, there's a reason why Lucas Brown can't fight him. And hey, I don't get to look at the contracts. Maybe there is reasons why he's not fighting some of these guys. Alan Babbage was another one that Brown is saying, or whatever. But maybe Lucas Brown wants to be in these type of Paul Gallen fights. It'd be out there where he's at now, Australia area, and Yeah, I mean, what can we really say about Lucas Brown these days, man? But yeah, I seen that on Instagram. Red Glove Militant, ain't seen you in a long minute, man. What's good, man? Levi Khan says, also, okay, that's read that. God of War says, I remember people calling Martin the worst champ of all times. You know, and they say that, and I always say, well, give me your list of the top 10 worst champions. And they'll never comment to me, or they'll say, well, I'm just saying in recent memory. Well, how can you say in recent memory, but then put of all time on there as well? What it is you don't know all the heavyweight title holders of all time to decipher who was the worst. That's what it is. You know what I'm saying? You won't admit it, but that's what it is. If you want to say, hey man, such and such is the worst title holder I've seen in my years of watching it, we'll say that. But when you add the tag of all time, you got to talk about boxing in totality. You know what I mean? Not just the last 2 or 3 years of you trolling on the internet, calling somebody the worst champion of all time. Um, but it was definitely a very short title reign. I will say that. You know what I'm saying? But Bone Crusher Smith had a short title reign. Tim Witherspoon had it. There's a lot of guys with short title reigns. Bruce Seldon, a lot of guys, man. Leon Spinks, um, and the list goes on and on. You know what I mean? The Cinderella, man. There's a lot of guys, man. So few more y'all, and I'm gonna jump out, man. L Dub says that Kanaki fight raised Martin's stock. Many thought he didn't have no heart. Yeah, and he turned it up the last 4 rounds of the fight. Had he came out and I hate saying if, but had he came out and if he was a little bit more aggressive, man, could have probably, edged towards at least a draw. Because I had a 6-4 Kalnaki, and I had Martin sweeping the last 4 rounds of that 10-rounder they fought. Red Glove Militant says, damn, I got here right before you're going to end. Yeah, bro, catching on archive, man. It's going to be up, Red Glove Militant. V4AR says, speaking of Arias, I just asked you that 1 month ago. Laugh out loud, good time. Yeah, he was in action last night. Won a 6-round UD against Joel Cotto. Arias came in shape at 227. He got the 6-pack going now and everything, man. Down to 227. He just signed a co-promotional deal with Salida Promotions, and he's still with Lou DiBella. All right, and he was on. Yep, and he was on the Showbox card yesterday. So they're trying to get him going, and hopefully he's back in the ring soon. Regular Militant says, yeah, I've been on hiatus, getting back in the swing of things. Saw you was live, so had to come through. That's what's up, man. V4AR says, did you post the Moan interview? Yes. All right. So before I leave, the Timothy Moan 6-0 heavyweight interview is up. That video is up. I put that up last night. And if you didn't catch Cassius Chaney and Christopher Lovejoy interview I did with both of those heavyweights at the same time, I put that up about 2 days ago. So check those out. I'm going to do more interviews, man. A lot of my subscribers, well, a lot of you guys been asking me, Mr. Boxing, once you get back to interviewing. And I do have a playlist. It's called Heavyweights Unleashed, where I have my interviews I did years ago with Andy Ruiz and Junior Fa, Eric Molina, Gerald Washington. There's quite a few. I forgot everybody, man. But those interviews are in that playlist, all right? All right, man. Y'all be good. Until next time, Saturday, I will have an interview with Trey Lippy Morrison, 16-0, 16 knockouts, heavyweight, the son of Tommy Morrison. I will be doing that Saturday. And I'll be calling Wallin versus Breazeale later on that night, all right? So, y'all be good, man. I'm gone.